The Galactic Empire's central command room buzzed with unusual activity. Red warning lights flashed across the massive holographic display, drawing the attention of every alien officer present. In their thousands of years of existence, they had never seen such readings. "High Commander, we're detecting strange energy patterns from Sector 7B," reported an officer, his gray skin reflecting the pulsing red lights. "It's coming from a solar system we previously classified as primitive." High Commander Pike stood from his command chair, his tall frame casting a shadow over the worried officers below. The Empire had ruled over 300 species for millennia, and nothing surprised them anymore, or so they thought. "Show me," he ordered. The hologram zoomed in on a small solar system, focusing on the third planet from its sun. The readings made no sense. Energy signatures appeared and disappeared randomly, suggesting technology far beyond what their initial surveys had recorded just 50 years ago. Meanwhile, on Earth, things were far from primitive. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Admiral Green walked through the corridors of humanity's most secure military installation. His boots echoed against metal floors as he made his way to the command center. The walls, lined with advanced monitoring equipment, showed real-time data from Earth's hidden defense network. "Status report," he called out as he entered the vast underground chamber. "Sir, our deep space arrays just intercepted more encrypted communications," reported Lieutenant Baker, her fingers flying over the holographic controls. "The Empire's ships are getting closer to our detection grid." Green smiled. For 20 years, humanity had intercepted and decoded the Empire's transmissions. While the aliens thought Earth was just another primitive world to eventually conquer, humans had been preparing. They had learned from the Empire's broadcasts, studied their technology, and built their own versions, often better ones. "They still think we're using radio waves and chemical rockets," Green said, watching the Empire's scout ships on the main screen. The aliens were so confident in their superiority that they didn't even try to hide their presence. Let them keep thinking that. Earth had changed much since detecting the first alien transmission. Nations had united under the threat of alien invasion, pooling their resources and knowledge. Underground cities spread beneath every continent, hidden shipyards orbited behind the moon, and weapon platforms disguised as space debris waited silently in the asteroid belt. In orbit, an Empire scout ship passed by what they thought was a defunct satellite. They didn't notice the advanced sensors scanning their every detail, or the hidden weapons tracking their movement. Back in the Empire's command center, High Commander Pike reviewed the latest reports with growing concern. These readings suggest energy usage consistent with early spaceflight capabilities, an analyst explained. "Nothing threatening to the Empire." "Then explain these power spikes," Pike demanded, pointing at the irregular patterns. "No developing civilization shows such inconsistent energy signatures." "Perhaps their technology is unstable," suggested another officer. "Primitive species often have accidents with their early energy experiments." Pike wasn't convinced, but the Empire's protocols were clear. Any species showing signs of space flight capability needed to be peacefully integrated into the Empire. It was time to send an ambassador. "Prepare a first contact package," he ordered. "We'll show them the benefits of joining the Empire." On Earth, Admiral Green watched the Empire's scout ship depart. He knew what would come next. They had read this protocol in the Empire's own communications years ago. "Send word to the Council," he ordered. "Tell them the Empire took the bait. They'll be sending an ambassador soon." Lieutenant Baker nodded, sending the encrypted message through Earth's quantum communication network, technology the Empire didn't even know was possible. In his office overlooking the underground city, Director Stone read the message and smiled. Humanity had spent decades preparing for this moment. Their cities were hidden, their weapons were ready, and their ships waited in secret. The Empire thought they were coming to graciously offer membership to a primitive species. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The Empire's diplomatic ship entered Earth's atmosphere with all its lights glowing, making sure everyone could see its grand arrival. Ambassador Ross stood at the bridge, watching the clouds part around the massive vessel. He had done this hundreds of times before, showing primitive species the power and glory of the Empire before they surrendered their independence. Receiving a transmission from the surface, reported his communication officer. They're directing us to land in a place called Geneva. Ross smiled. At least these humans could follow simple instructions. He hadn't bothered to read much about them. Why waste time studying a species that would soon be just another part of the Empire? The ship landed in a large clearing outside the city. A small group of humans waited nearby, dressed in what Ross assumed were their best clothes. He adjusted his ceremonial robe and prepared to deliver his usual speech about the benefits of joining the Empire. As the ship's doors opened, Director Stone watched carefully. Behind his calm expression, he fought back a smile. The Empire's ship was exactly what they had expected, impressive on the outside, but its technology was decades behind what Earth now possessed. "Welcome to Earth," Stone said as Ambassador Ross approached. "We've been expecting you." Ross paused mid-step. Something about the human's tone wasn't right. Where was the awe, the fear, the desperate desire to please? "I bring greetings from the mighty Galactic Empire," Ross announced, his voice booming across the field. "We have watched your species develop and believe you are ready to join our great civilization." Stone nodded politely. "Perhaps we should continue this conversation inside. We've prepared a meeting room." Inside the Geneva Conference Center, Ross found himself seated at a large table with Earth's United Council. The walls were plain. The technology visible was appropriately primitive, but something felt wrong. "Let me explain the benefits of joining the Empire," Ross began, activating a holographic display. "We can offer you technologies beyond like your Mark 7 fusion drives." Director Stone interrupted. "Or your quantum communication arrays." Ross froze. Those were classified technologies. How could these primitives know about them? "Or perhaps," Stone continued, "you'd like to discuss your Empire's standard conquest protocols. First contact, followed by impossible demands, then a small invasion fleet if we refuse." The blood drained from Ross's face. How do you know these things?" Stone pressed a button, and the room's plain walls transformed into advanced holographic displays. They showed detailed scans of Empire ships, decoded transmissions, and military analyses. "We've been listening to your communications for decades," Stone explained. "Your encryption was impressive. 50 years ago. We broke it in months." Ross stood up, his diplomatic mask cracking. "This is impossible. You're lying." "No lies, Ambassador. We simply did what humans do best. We adapted, we learned, and we prepared." Stone's voice remained calm. "Now let's discuss what you really came here for. You dare threaten the Empire?" Ross snarled. "We command the largest fleet in the galaxy. We have resources beyond your comprehension. And we have surprises beyond yours." Stone replied. "Look outside." The building's windows cleared, revealing the truth. The primitive city of Geneva shimmered and changed as its holographic camouflage deactivated. Beneath the fake old buildings stood a gleaming advanced metropolis. In the sky, dozens of human ships decloaked, all aimed at the Empire's diplomatic vessel. "This is your only warning, Ambassador," Stone said, standing. "Return to your Empire. Tell them Earth is not interested in submission. Tell them we know their strengths, their weaknesses, and every move they're likely to make." Ross backed away, his hands shaking. "The Empire will not stand for this insult. We will return with a fleet that will darken your skies." "No," Stone replied. "You'll return with a message. If the Empire wants a war, they'll learn why every species should fear humans." As Ross hurried back to his ship, emergency protocols already being transmitted to the Empire, Director Stone watched from his office. The real war would begin soon. The Empire would come, expecting to find a primitive world easy to conquer. Instead, they would find humanity, ready and waiting. High Commander Pike watched as 100 warships emerged from hyperspace near Earth's solar system. In the Empire's entire history, no species had ever survived an attack of this size. He stood on his command ship's bridge, feeling almost sorry for the humans. Their defiance would be punished, and their world would become just another dot on the Empire's vast star maps. "All ships report ready," his second-in-command announced. "The humans have made no attempt to contact us or surrender. They'll learn their mistakes soon enough," Pike said. "Begin the attack." The Empire's fleet moved forward in perfect formation, just as they had done countless times before. Their sensors showed only a handful of primitive satellites and some space debris around Earth. Everything was going according to plan. Until it wasn't. Deep within Earth's hidden command center, Admiral Green watched the Empire's ships approach. He waited until they passed Mars, letting them think their victory was certain. "They're in position," Lieutenant Baker reported. "All defense systems are ready." Green nodded. "Let's show them how humans fight. Activate the grid." Across the solar system, what the Empire thought was space debris suddenly came to life. Hundreds of weapon platforms hidden in the asteroid belt powered up. Defensive satellites emerged from their hiding spots behind Earth's moon. And most surprisingly, 36 human warships decloaked between Mars and Earth. On the Empire's command ship, alarms screamed to life. "Sir," an officer shouted. "Enemy ships detected. They're everywhere." Pike rushed to the tactical display, his eyes widening in shock. How had they missed this? Where did these ships come from? Before he could give any orders, the humans struck first. Admiral Green's voice boomed across all channels, broadcasting in perfect Empire standard language. "Welcome to Earth's defense grid. You have 10 seconds to retreat." Pike laughed. Even with their hidden ships, the humans were still outnumbered. "Launch fighters. Show these primitives what real war looks like." The Empire's ships launched their fighter squadrons, over 1,000 small craft streaming toward Earth. They expected an easy victory. Instead, they flew straight into hell. Human ships didn't fight like any species the Empire had ever seen. They ignored standard combat formations. Their vessels moved in ways that seemed impossible, using technology that shouldn't exist on such a young world. "Sir, we've lost contact with Battle Group 7. An officer shouted. "Battle Groups 3 and 4 are under heavy fire." Pike watched in horror as his perfect formation fell apart. Human ships appeared and disappeared at will, using cloaking technology more advanced than the Empire's best systems. Their weapons cut through Empire shields like they weren't even there. "Impossible," Pike whispered. "They're just humans." In Earth's command center, Admiral Green coordinated the defense with calm precision. "Activate Phase 2, he ordered. Suddenly, Earth's atmosphere itself seemed to come alive. Hidden defense platforms rose from the oceans. Anti-ship weapons emerged from what looked like mountain ranges. "Sir," Baker reported with a smile, 40% of the Empire's fleet has been disabled or destroyed. No damage to Earth's major defense systems. The Empire's neat formations had dissolved into chaos. Their ships, designed to fight enemies who followed standard battle tactics, couldn't handle Earth's unpredictable defense strategies. "Send the message," Green ordered. Across every Empire channel, in every Empire language, Earth broadcast. "This was your only warning shot. Retreat now, or we will stop holding back." On his command ship, Pike watched another battle group disappear from his tactical display. In just 1 hour, humans had done what no species had managed in thousands of years. They had defeated an Empire war fleet. "Order a retreat," Pike commanded, his voice shaking. "Get us out of this system." As the surviving Empire ships flowed into hyperspace, Admiral Green stood in Earth's command center, watching them run. He knew this was just the beginning. The Empire would return with a bigger fleet, but that was exactly what humanity had planned for. "Send word to all Earth forces," he ordered. "Phase 1 complete. Begin preparation for Phase 2. The real war was about to begin. The Empire's War Council gathered in their central command station. The massive room was silent except for the soft hum of holographic displays showing their recent defeat at Earth. High Commander Pike stood before the council, his pride still wounded from the battle. "How?" demanded Council Leader Rex. "How did a single primitive world destroy 40% of our attack fleet?" Pike played the battle recordings again. "The humans. They don't fight like anyone we've ever faced. Each of their ships used different tactics. Some used our own strategies against us. Others used fighting styles we've never seen." "That's impossible," another council member argued. "No species can master multiple combat styles so quickly." At that moment, an intelligence officer burst into the room. "Commanders, we've discovered something about the humans. Something terrifying." The officer connected his data pad to the main display. Images of human history filled the screens, showing how humans had copied and improved technologies from every culture they encountered throughout their own history. "This is their true power," the officer explained. "Humans don't just learn, they adapt. They take ideas from everywhere and make them better. They've been doing it their entire history, long before they even reached space." Meanwhile, on Earth, Admiral Green led a very different kind of meeting. "Activate the Prometheus Protocol," he ordered. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, in a hidden base, hundreds of quantum computers hummed to life. The Prometheus Protocol was humanity's greatest secret, an AI system that could analyze and improve any technology it encountered. Lieutenant Baker monitored the system's progress. "Sir, Prometheus has finished analyzing the Empire's weapons from the battle. It's already suggesting 47 improvements." Green smiled. This was humanity's true advantage. While the Empire stuck to their 1,000-year-old tactics, humans were constantly evolving, constantly improving. "The Empire thinks they know war," Green said, watching the new weapon designs appear on his screen. "They don't understand that humans have been practicing war against ourselves for thousands of years. We've imagined every possible way to fight." In orbit, Earth's shipyards were already implementing the changes. Workers installed new weapons that combined Empire technology with human innovations. Each ship was different, making it impossible for the Empire to predict what they would face next. Back in the Empire's council room, the intelligence officer continued his report. "Their ships," he explained, pointing to the battle footage. "Each one is unique. They don't mass-produce identical vessels like we do. They experiment, adapt, improve with every battle." "But how do they learn so fast?" Rex demanded. The officer's hands shook as he showed the next image. "They've created something they call the Prometheus Protocol. It's an AI system that learns and adapts faster than any organic mind. They've combined their natural adaptability with artificial intelligence." The council room erupted in chaos. AI of that level was forbidden in the Empire. They had seen ancient civilizations destroy themselves with such technology. "There's more," the officer added quietly. "The humans, they're not afraid of their AI. They work with it, treat it like a tool, a partner. They've mastered what we feared to even attempt." On Earth, Green received the first reports from the improved ship's test flights. The results exceeded even their highest expectations. "Send the data to all Earth forces," he ordered. "Begin upgrading every ship, every weapon, every defense system. The Empire will return, and will be ready." Lieutenant Baker looked up from her console. "Sir, Prometheus is detecting Empire scout ships at the edge of our solar system. They're trying to stay hidden." Green nodded. "Let them watch. Let them see us improving their own weapons. Let them understand what they're really facing." He turned to the massive screen showing Earth's defenses. Unlike the Empire's rigid, unchanging military, humanity's forces were constantly evolving. Every ship and weapon becoming better with each passing hour. "Humans don't just adapt to survive," Green said quietly. "We adapt to win. And we're about to teach the Empire why that makes us so dangerous." The real question wasn't whether Earth would win this war. The question was whether the Empire would survive learning just how powerful humanity's gift for adaptation truly was. News of the Empire's defeat spread through the galaxy like wildfire. On the planet Dux, ruled by the Empire for 500 years, crowds gathered in secret to watch smuggled recordings of the battle at Earth. They watched in amazement as human ships tore through the Empire's invincible fleet. "If humans can fight back, why can't we?" whispered one rebel to another. The Empire's problems were growing. In their central command station, High Commander Pike faced another crisis. 3 more worlds have refused to send ships for the next attack on Earth, an officer reported, and 5 governors have requested time to consider their options. Pike slammed his fist on the table. The Empire had ruled through fear for thousands of years. Now, because of one planet of humans, everything was falling apart. "Any ship that refuses to fight is a traitor," he declared. "Send the loyal fleet to force them to join us." But for the first time in Empire history, his officers hesitated. "Sir," his second-in-command said carefully, "if we attack our own worlds, others might. Seek Earth's protection." The words hung in the air like a bomb ready to explode. The very idea that Empire worlds would turn to Earth for help was unthinkable. Meanwhile, Admiral Green was busy creating the Empire's worst nightmare. "Commander Wells, begin Operation Ghost," he ordered through a secure channel. Across Empire space, small human ships appeared from nowhere. They attacked supply lines and disappeared before Empire ships could respond. Each raid was different, using new tactics that the Empire couldn't predict or counter. The Prometheus Protocol had evolved beyond just improving weapons. Now it predicted Empire patrol routes and found weaknesses in their defenses that even they didn't know existed. Lieutenant Baker monitored the results. "Sir, 30 Empire supply ships destroyed. No losses on our side." And she paused, a smile spreading across her face. "And what?" Green asked. "We just received messages from 7 Empire worlds. They want to talk about switching sides." In the Empire's council room, the crisis grew worse. Reports flooded in from every sector. Human ships were hitting targets that should have been secret. Empire commanders were starting to refuse orders. "How are they doing this?" Council leader Rex demanded. "How do they know where to strike?" The intelligence officer, now permanently stationed in the council room, looked exhausted. "The humans, they think differently than us. While we follow our ancient battle plans, they create new ones for each attack. They're not just fighting us. They're learning from every battle. Then we must use our full force." Rex shouted, "Gather every ship. Crush them with numbers." "Sir," Pike interrupted, 3 more battle groups have gone silent. They're not destroyed. They've turned off their communications and disappeared." The truth was becoming clear. Empire ships were deserting. The mighty Empire was facing something worse than defeat. It was facing rebellion from within. On Earth, Green received more good news. The Prometheus Protocol had cracked another layer of Empire codes, revealing their entire command structure. "Send this to our new allies," he ordered. "Show them exactly how to break free from Empire control." Baker nodded. "Sir, the free worlds are already organizing their own defense forces. They're copying our adaptation strategies." Green watched the tactical display as more Empire worlds turned from red to green, declaring their independence. The Empire had ruled through fear and rigid control. Humanity showed the galaxy something different, the power of adaptation and free thinking. "The Empire thought size and strength would win this war," Green said. "They never understood that their greatest weakness was their refusal to change." In deep space, another Empire battle group disappeared from official channels. But they didn't stay silent for long. Their new broadcast was simple but devastating to Empire control. "We stand with Earth. Freedom through adaptation. Death to the Empire." The Empire wasn't just losing a war anymore. It was losing its soul as the very idea of questioning authority. An idea humans had spread like a virus. infected their perfect system of control. And Earth's forces were just getting started. The Empire's final attack fleet gathered near their capital world. 5,000 ships, the largest force ever assembled in galactic history. High Commander Pike stood on his bridge, watching the massive fleet prepare for what he promised would be humanity's last day. "All ships report ready," his officer announced. "This time, Earth will fall." But Pike noticed something his pride wouldn't let him admit. Many officers' voices shook when they reported in. They had seen too many fleets fail against the humans. On Earth, Admiral Green watched the Empire's fleet through their long-range sensors. He turned to Lieutenant Baker with a calm smile. "They finally gathered them all in one place," he said, "just as Prometheus predicted. Send the signal." Across Earth's solar system, hidden doors began to open. In massive underground bases, beneath every continent, thousands of ships powered up. Behind the dark side of every planet and moon, more vessels dropped their cloaking fields. From the sun's corona itself, specially shielded warships emerged. Earth had been busy building while the Empire gathered its fleet. "Sir," Baker reported, her voice filled with pride, "all 20,000 ships report ready." The Empire's sensors suddenly lit up with warnings. Their officers stared in horror as human ships appeared everywhere around them. Each ship was different, carrying weapons and defenses the Empire had never seen before. Pike's voice shook as he reported to the Council. "Impossible. They have 4 times our numbers. How did they hide such a fleet?" Council Leader Rex screamed in fury. "Attack. Attack now before." His words cut off as human ships opened fire, but they weren't using normal weapons. Instead, special beams struck the Empire ships, shutting down their engines and weapons. Green's voice broadcasted across all channels. "Attention Empire forces. Your ships have been disabled by our new gravity weapons. Don't worry, life support systems will continue working. We're not monsters, after all." In less than an hour, without destroying a single Empire ship, Earth's forces had defeated the largest fleet in galactic history. Baker checked her readings. "Sir, we're receiving surrenders from over 60% of Empire ships. The rest are requesting to join us." Green nodded. This was humanity's true victory, not destroying the Empire, but showing them a better way. "Send in the engineering ships," he ordered. "Show them how we can improve their vessels. Let them see what working with humans really means." Across the disabled Empire fleet, human engineers transported aboard. They didn't come as conquerors, but as teachers, showing Empire crews how to make their ships better, how to think differently about technology. On the Empire capital world, the Council watched in shock as their mighty fleet was not destroyed, but transformed. "What are they doing?" Rex whispered. The intelligence officer, who had warned them about human adaptability, finally smiled. "They're doing what humans do best. They're teaching others how to adapt." Pike watched as human engineers helped his crew modify their ship's systems. He had expected Earth to destroy them. Instead, they were showing the Empire how to improve, how to think in new ways. "Sir," his officer reported, excitement breaking through years of rigid training. "These modifications, they're increasing our ship's power by 300%. Across the fleet, Empire crews began to understand. Humans hadn't just beaten them. They had surpassed them by learning to combine technologies in ways the Empire had never imagined. Green received the final reports. Not a single Empire ship destroyed. Instead, thousands of crews learning, adapting, beginning to think like humans. "Send the final message," he ordered. Throughout Empire space, every screen, every communication device, displayed the same words. "The age of the Empire is over. The age of adaptation begins. Earth offers friendship to all who wish to learn, to grow, to become more than they are. The future belongs not to those who control, but to those who adapt." The Empire's mighty fleet hung silent in space, its crews learning humanity's greatest lesson. The power to change, to improve, to adapt was stronger than any weapon ever built. And this was just the beginning. 1 month after the Great Battle, Representatives from 1,000 worlds gathered in Earth's Geneva Conference Center. The same room where Ambassador Ross had once threatened Earth now hosted the largest peaceful gathering in galactic history. Director Stone stood at the podium, looking out at a sea of faces from hundreds of different species. Former Empire worlds sat next to longtime rebels, all united by what humans had shown them was possible. Today, Stone began, we're not here to celebrate a victory over the Empire. We're here to celebrate something far more important, the birth of the Galactic Federation of Free Worlds. In the audience, even former High Commander Pike nodded in agreement. The past month had changed him, just as it had changed the galaxy. He had seen his own ship transformed by human engineering, watched his crew learn and grow in ways the Empire had forbidden for thousands of years. Admiral Green sat beside Lieutenant Baker in the front row. On their tablets, the Prometheus Protocol showed something new. It was learning from every species present, combining their knowledge in ways that would benefit everyone. The Empire ruled through control and fear. Stone continued. They believed that keeping worlds divided and suspicious of each other was the path to power. Humanity shows a different path, one of cooperation, adaptation, and growth. Screens around the room displayed images from across the galaxy. Empire shipyards now built vessels that combine technologies from dozens of worlds. Former enemies worked together, sharing knowledge that had been forbidden for centuries. But this is just the beginning, Stone said. Already, our combined research teams have made discoveries that would have been impossible alone. The Prometheus Protocol now belongs to all worlds, helping each species reach their full potential. In orbit above Earth, the new Federation's first joint fleet conducted training exercises. Each ship was unique, combining the best ideas from different worlds. Empire crews flew alongside their former enemies, all learning from each other. Baker checked her tablet and smiled. Sir, she whispered to Green, we're receiving requests from 200 more worlds asking to join the Federation. Green nodded. The Empire had tried to keep worlds weak and dependent. Humanity had shown them how to become strong together. Stone raised his hands for attention. Some have asked why Earth doesn't simply take control, since we proved ourselves the strongest. The answer is simple. True strength comes from working together, not ruling over others. He pressed a button, and the room's holographic systems activated. Above the audience, a massive display showed the galaxy, with Federation worlds glowing bright blue. Look at our galaxy, Stone said. For too long, it was divided into rulers and ruled. Now we write a new chapter. Every world free to develop in its own way, while sharing knowledge for the benefit of all. Pike stood up, asking permission to speak. Stone nodded, and the former Empire commander faced the audience. I commanded the Empire's greatest fleet, Pike said. I thought I knew what power was. But humans showed us something greater. The power of adaptation, of learning, of growing beyond what we thought possible. A message flashed on Stone's podium. He read it and smiled. I just received word, he announced. The last Empire holdout worlds have requested Federation membership. The Empire, as an institution of control and fear, is officially no more. The room erupted in cheers. Species that had hated each other for centuries now celebrated together. Let this be our message to the future, Stone concluded. The greatest power isn't the ability to control others. It's the ability to help others grow, to adapt, to become more than they ever dreamed possible. As the ceremony ended, Green looked out the window at the transformed city of Geneva. Ships from 100 worlds flew peacefully through Earth's skies. Former enemies worked together in research labs and shipyards. Not bad for a primitive species, Baker said with a smile. Green laughed. The Empire made one simple mistake. They thought humans were weak because we kept changing, kept adapting. They never understood that this was our greatest strength. Above them, the first ships of the new Federation fleet prepared to launch, carrying the message of freedom and adaptation to the farthest reaches of space. Humanity had not just won a war. They had changed the galaxy forever.